Hi everybody, this is episode 8 of Bewitching Thoughts. Today we're going to be talking about fan behavior, similar to parasocial behavior. But slightly on a smaller scale. To kind of, before we kind of get like started, I think I have to introduce myself because it would make no sense why I would even bother talking about this. So I'm Mewtanyy. I usually am a Twitch streamer. But you know, IRL, I'm just getting my masters, just getting my shit done, and I just happen to stream on the side. As you can see, I am not a pygmy, I'm just a normal person. So when I say I'm a normal person, I mean it. I'm a normal person. So this is like me just complaining about some things that happens on stream all the time, but like not enough to where I feel like I can call them out. Like, you know, like I can call out racism, I can call out sexism, but like these are things that like I guess I wouldn't be like straight up calling out, but it still bothers me. So kind of like to give more in depth into me on like why I'm complaining about this. I'm like a person that does not like words of affirmations. Like absolutely, like if you are going to give me words of affirmations, you have to kind of nitpick like which words of affirmations you should give me, because majority of the time most words of affirmations don't really work well with me. So yeah, like specifically like affirmations about my appearance. So usually when people tell me like, you're so pretty, you're so cute, like shit like that, I freaking hate. I don't like that personally. But just because like to me, like usually when I stream, I'm like, I got out of bed, I start streaming. I'm literally putting no effort into like how I look just because I really do not care. So just having someone tell me like, yeah, my gosh, you look so pretty today, I'm gonna be like, oh, like that's kind of weird. But that's just me. Like I think it's just really weird that like, oh, I'm not putting any effort, but then they're telling me that I look pretty. Just because like you know, I'm not putting any effort into my outfit. I'm not even doing my makeup. I don't even do my hair. I'm gonna say this. I don't even brush my hair. I literally like roll out of bed after like me taking a nap, and then be like, well, hey guys, I'm gonna go get water and I'll be back. I'll start streaming. so then like when people get me like affirmations about my appearance, I'm just like, this seems like such a shallow thing to say. Which makes sense because a lot of people that like are first time chatters, they come into my stream and they're like, oh, like you're so pretty, you know? Because that's like probably like the first thing that they can like say about me, which is okay to a certain extent. To a certain extent. I'll never forget, and I still stand by this. I'll never forget when like someone told me how I look sexy, and I have never ever recovered from that. And literally to this day, if I ever heard someone say that to me again, I would literally lose my mind, because I don't know, I just feel like being called like sexy just feels like sexualized. So I'm just like, this just does not seem like a compliment that I would take, like honestly. To be honest. So yeah. And also like as another thing, like, you know, when you're on like the dating apps and stuff, and then you kind of like freaking you like a girl's profile and stuff, and then you be like, or can I use Hinge, and then you can send them a message, and then you legit just say, hey, you're beautiful. Like honestly, that's like one of the worst conversation starters. Like yeah, cool, like you tell her how beautiful she is, and she might be like, thank you. Maybe she'll say that. Maybe she'll say that. But at the same time, like being on the dating apps, 50 other men also tell her how beautiful she is. So like you're just not original. Like, I don't know. Just start something better with that compliment. With another conversation starter, honestly. Which is why I don't like when people start the conversation with me on stream. But you're so pretty. Because it seems really sus. Because I'm just like, oh, like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, I'm like... But yeah. But honestly though, I stand by this. My favorite affirmations are, you're so funny, or you're so hardworking. It like literally has nothing to do with my appearance, and it legit goes with what isn't in my internals or whatever. So those are the only compliments I usually accept most of the time. So I'm gonna go over kind of the difference between fan behavior, and parasocial, because I know like it seems very mish, which is why it's really challenging for me to call it out when I have to stream it. Ha ha ha. So usually how like I would identify like fan behavior is like usually like as a definition, like an idol. Like, oh, like you kind of idolize them in a certain way. But like at the same time, I've been looking this up on ChatGPT because I've been trying to do this research and stuff. But they're like, it's supposed to be like the more, like there's boundaries set for fan behavior. But at the same time, like I feel like it's just really subtle that like you can't really be like calling it out, you know? Because it's like, you know, it's like different when like someone tells you like how much they love you, like on stream, right? Like I'll be like, yeah, don't fucking say that to me. Like that's kind of weird. That's weird as fuck. Like you don't know me like that. But for me, like fan behavior is like either like overly complimenting and then seeking attention / responses from a person. So like I said, like I feel like fan behavior is very similar to like worshipping an idol. But I'm a normal person. I don't need all that. I don't need all that nonsense. I don't need all of that nonsense. So it could also be like, as well, like financially investing into a streamer. So I know like there's some streamers, they'd be like, well, like this person gave me like $500, so now like they told me that I should play this game and stuff, and then now I feel forced to play this game. Not like anyone would give me that much money, but not like anyone would give me that much money. I've been told like, oh, people feel a little bit of obligation to just kind of stream what the donor gives them, which is like okay to a certain extent, but then it gets to the point where like you kind of don't even control your own stream. So like, is it good to have this money if there's like strings attached to it? Which is why I talk about like the whole like strings attached and stuff. Like that's like the issue I have with it, like, which is when I say like, oh, they're seeking attention or like looking for a response. Like I have this like experience all the time, like when people will be like, oh, like I like liked your video. Thanks for liking my video, but like what do you want me to do with this information? Like, you know, like I can't do anything more with this information. I'm really appreciative, but I get to the point where like if you're like telling me every single time you're like liking a video or commenting on a video, I'm gonna feel some type of way, because I'm just like, oh, like what do you want me to say at this point besides thank you? You know, you can't really say any much more than that. So it's kind of crazy for that. Crazy from that. But yeah, as I'm saying, like if it happens like consistently, then that's a problem. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about being parasocial, because I do love talking about people that are parasocial like all the time, because I feel like I've experienced that a lot, which is why I feel like I have to do a lot of safety precautions on my stream. If you know, you just know. If you don't, just keep it that way. You don't need to know. You don't need to know. But parasocial, as a definition for me, is kind of having like a one-sided friendship / relationship with a person. And usually it happens like online and stuff, because like, you know, being chronically online, this is like our like, you know, it's really easy to like contact a person online compared to like seeing a person in real life. And also like kind of detaching them as a person as well makes it super easy to be parasocial to them. But yeah, kind of similar. So similar to both, in a sense, like, oh, fan behavior can also do the same thing, but having conflicts with hanging out with other people. So like, oh, they're like, you said hi to this person. I'm sure this is a drastic example, but like it's like saying like, oh yeah, you said hi to this person, why didn't you say hi to me? But yeah, but I have set really good boundaries on my stream, so like this usually doesn't happen to me. But I've seen it happen to like other streamers where like other streamers will complain about how like let's just say like they just took the day off, like, they didn't stream one day in their schedule, and then people will be like, where are you, like hounding them on like, oh like where are they, like why aren't they streaming, oh like why aren't you playing with me, like you know, that type of stuff. And that type of behavior just like makes me really annoyed, because I'm just like, I don't get how people have this much entitlement. So then I'm just like, it's just super annoying. It's just super annoying. It is very annoying. So yeah, because like I remember like experiencing like entitlement on Twitch, which is why I kind of want to talk about this also. Like, oh my gosh, I remember there's a person that made me uncomfortable on stream, and they got banned. I was like, I ain't gonna deal with this, just because like I felt like in my soul I was like, this is gonna like, this like is really weird. I just couldn't do it. But pretty much like the scenario or what happened was, they told me like they like try to like. They try to be overly friendly with me, and then they try to tell me how I smell. And I'll be honest, like something about like someone telling me how I smell just like concerns me, even though they don't know how I smell. But it seems really stalkerish, and I just feel like I just can't deal with that. So in a sense, they got banned. And honestly, they could have been banned literally unbanned within a week if they just let me alone. Cause like as like a beginning streamer, I was not very like, you know, like I'll be very forgiving. Now I'm not, and this is one of the reasons why. And I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it, I'm just like, oh my god. But I just remember like the entitlement like of them going into my DMs and being like, I'm sorry, but like you're too sensitive. Like pretty much like implying that I was too sensitive to the whole like situation. And I was just like, what? You're gonna be banned for life. You'll be banned for life. That happened like so long ago. Until this day, they still try to talk to me. Like they're like blocked. They're blocked on Twitch. They're also banned. So I'm like, literally, I'm not even trying to look at them. But I remember like at a point, I was like super scared to go on any other streams, because like he would find me everywhere I went. And I was just like, you know, I just freaking hate streaming now. I absolutely despise streaming. And I remember like when I finally told like the first person, like I was like, hey, this is like what's happening, and like honestly like going your stream is kind of like my safe space, which is why I'm even telling you this. And honestly, they took it really seriously, and I was really happy. And I think from that point on, I think it made me feel like okay to like block him. And then yeah, so I remember like all the time I hear from a bunch of streamers, they're like, oh my gosh, so and so's like talked about you and how they like wish they gave you like that you gave them a chance and stuff. And I'm like, it's been like a year, 2 years pretty much. It's been almost 2 years. I remember this anniversary. It's been almost 2 years. This man is still trying to talk to me. This man is still trying to talk to me, and then he still like tries to like hype me up to the streamers. And I'll be honest, like having a compliment from someone that I just don't like and I'm weirded out by, it just feels so weird. Like I don't know, I feel like, I don't know if anyone like relates to like, oh, like if someone hated me or someone like that just is really creepy, I would not like take their compliment, you know, because it just seems very odd, you know. Like I'm just like, that's just how the interpretation is. So yeah, so that's like one of the experiences. And I still remember like to this day when I didn't say goodnight to them because I actually have them blocked, so I can't even see their message first off. Like, and then like my friends being like, oh yeah, this person DM'd me about how you didn't give them a chance and how you like they wish you did and blah 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 blah. I don't even remember, but it was really long. It was a long paragraph about how I should have gave them a chance. And honestly, that's just like the entitlement. Like I don't owe anyone anything. That's what I always say. So parasocial. But parasocial combined with like entitlement is just so much like worse. Again, I just feel like literally like, and like it kind of sucks even more because like as much as I'm a confrontational person, not every single streamer is a confrontational person. So then I have like a bunch of friends that like, just like, oh, and I'll see them and then I'll be like, I keep my mouth shut. I'm like, I know they're being parasocial, but I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not allowed to say anything in other streams. So, so I try not to do that. But I do call out some people for saying some really dumb shit. And honestly, I just wish that people would, yeah, discipline as a child. They're gonna be dead ass. Oh my gosh. So that's kind of how I feel about like parasocial and stuff like that. And also just like experiencing like when they expect something from you, like when they like are trying to get you to gonna call, trying to get them like to open your DM, they're trying to get you to do this, that, and that, blah 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 blah. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's just not very genuine. Also, like, at the same time, like, a lot of streamers don't have like their personalities aren't like their personalities online, so I'm just like, so it was super interesting, and I kind of just watched it and I just had to just let it go. Let it go. But yeah, I don't want to go through a couple examples that I've like created, but not really created, more like I've heard of it, so then I'm just like so I guess like my first one is, I think you're the coolest streamer ever. So something about that, I'm like, yeah, like I'm like, you know, the first time hearing it, thanks. You know, the second time you're hearing it, thanks. Maybe the third time you're hearing it, thanks. So then like after a while of hearing it, you might just feel some type of way, because then it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's just like an overhype, you know? It's like, oh, like, that's how I feel about it. And like, it just feels like they're putting me on a pedestal, because I'm just like, so yeah, so, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like compliments like these, like, even though like it's like seems really harmless, like it just feels like it wears me down. Like it actually wears me down. I'm like, you're so cool. Thanks. Thanks. When I'm playing a game and I clutch around, you're so cool. Thanks. You know, when you finish a game, you're so cool. Thanks. You know, when you're sitting there and just doing nothing, you're not even talking to chat, you're just kind of sitting there just dazing off and disassociating, you're so cool. Not thanks, because like I don't know. Yeah, there's a time and place for these compliments, you know? I feel like I get really stressed out when I see like just random compliments, and I'm just like when I say like I said, right? I like sometimes I'll disassociate on stream and I'll just like kind of sit there and I won't even say anything. I'll just kind of like daze off and just be like sitting there, and then they'll be like, you're so cool, and I just feel like so like under a magnifying glass, because I'm just like I'm like what's happening? Like, oh, like, what's so cool about me? Like, what's going on? You know? It just didn't feel, yeah. So that is ridiculous to me. Another one is, oh my gosh, you looked my way, or like you replied to me, or you respond to my message, something on the lines of that, like, oh, you responded to me, or like that, like. And I'm like, you know what, the first time, ha ha ha, like, you know, like maybe I miss a chat once in a while, and I'll miss your message like 4 times in a row, and then finally I read it and I'll be like, oh, sorry for like freaking ignoring your message for the 5th time. Sorry. But you know, those types of, like, I'm like, yeah, I get it, it's kind of funny. But then like after a while, I'm like the same thing, it's like it wears me down, because I'm just like, Because it could be like, oh, like let's just say like I always read their message and they're like, oh my gosh, now I can be happy. I can be so happy because now I got a response back from the streamer. I would lose my shit. I would lose my mind. I ain't gonna lie. So the next one is like what I mentioned before. So, hey, I watched your video today. So kind of like, oh, like to me it's like, yeah, it's a cool moment. Like I'm like, wow, someone watched my video. But then like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes like it could be considered like attention seeking, because it's kind of like the same thing as like, oh, buying a gift for someone and being like, hey, remember when I bought you a gift for your birthday? My birthday's coming up. So like, it's kind of like that. Like it's like, oh, like you have to kind of like reciprocate and kind of return what they did for you. So I'm just like, that's how I feel about it. So so yeah, so things like that specifically. But there, like, I'm pretty sure there's like a couple other examples I can choose from that I can like just be like, I can like nitpick and be like, oh yeah, like this seems weird. Like, oh, like when someone tells me like, not like I would do this, but like someone says to me like, hey, can you wear braids today? But then they do that every stream. They're like, oh, like I remember when you had braids, like your braids look good, like that. Like I'm like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know. I've just experienced like a lot of behavior to where I'm like, I can't really question it, and it's not like very like discreet enough to where I'm like, like, I remember like one time, like I had someone like clip me like making random noises. Like not even like meowing, barking, like, you know, I get it. Like when people like, you know, when people meow and bark, it's funny as hell. Like, but like it's just like random noises. Like I'm just like it makes no sense to the context or anything. It's just me making noises. Like it probably can be like a sub, like a sound alert or something. But I remember like having to like have this conversation with someone after like probably like the 5th or 6th time of these clips coming up, because I would like look and I'll be like, but yeah, it's like the same thing as like when people would like, oh, like I remember like I hear all these stories all the time about like women. They'd be like, oh yeah, I just like bend over and then there's a clip of me bending over. I'm like, the fuck? How is that possible? You know, like I'm just like it's very like just very obvious. I'm just like, holy shit. But yeah, I just think about that sometimes, because I'm just like, there's times when I'm just like, yeah, I can give you an example of a person. So I would say like at a certain point I became friends with this person, but honestly that was my mistake. Honestly that was my mistake. And honestly, this is why I kind of distanced myself from this person. But I remember when they had like a huge crush on me. And honestly, I should have shut it down. I should have like been like, because I remember I was like talking to them about how like I don't like when people like take too long to like tell me that they like me. And then they told me that they were interested in me, and I was just like, and honestly at that point I should have shut it down real quick. I should have been like, yeah, no, it ain't happening. And then so it kind of made sense in my brain, I think, after that moment, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to keep this person around because I need a mod. Which is kind of like the problem with me. Like I just need to like let go of people. Like honestly, if like they made me uncomfortable, I should just let them go. But I do have kept a couple of mods, because I was like, I kind of need mods. So yeah, that's that. And I don't know, like just like the experience with this person in particular, like I don't know, I felt like they had like a specific type, and I just felt like I followed into this type very like, I pretty much like a cookie cutter. I just fit into it like, exactly. And I think like this made me like stressed out, because I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing things for me because they like me, even though I told them I don't like them. So it's really interesting with that dynamic, I guess. So I'm just like, so it got to the point where I would just not even bother talking to them. And I'd be like, if I talk to them, I would only talk to them in a group. And then like, I'm like, oh my god. But, oh my god. But I did end my friendship with them. But just because they were too pushy. And honestly, I was gonna like you know, as much as I love chaos and I love like, you know, keeping my peace and stuff like that, like I feel like I feel like, oh, if we're in like a friend group together, I'm going to be like civil. But they were like really stressed out. Like I can tell, because like I don't know, I just feel like if you're gonna like call someone out, or if you want to like apologize, confront someone, or not confront them. I honestly, if you confront them, that's fine. But like more like, if you're asking for forgiveness from another person, honestly, you should just go on their time. Like you shouldn't be like, if you're in the wrong, you should be more respectful of time to the other person. Just saying, I'm be straight up. So, but yeah, I just remember that day so vividly. I was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I remember like they were trying to like get me into this call, like literally like practically like drag me into this call, and honestly, I was not having it, and I was just like not like just not having a good day, and I was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna deal with it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. And then yeah, and then they ended our friendship, and then I was just like, okay. Because like, you know, like I just feel like there's no point. There's no especially if they're stressing me out this much. Do I really want to deal with a person that stresses me out? Do I want to talk to a person that disrespects my boundaries when I tell them no? You know? So like things like that. And that's like also like the similar similar experience. This is just me now just ranting about just people that like think like that, like have feelings for me, and all of a sudden they think that they can control me and shit. That's not even the first time that has happened. I had another experience with like another person, like I remember like they would get like upset that like I would have other friends. They would just get so upset. Like I remember like one time I was like, I'll be done at 6 p.m. so I can play with you at 6. And then they would like whine and bitch at me, and they'd be like, oh, like, why were you like, why do you not care about me, blah blah blah. And then I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna hang out with you today because you're being a bitch. You're being a bitch. So yeah. And then like just them pretending, like they're like, oh, it's 6 p.m, are we gonna hang out? And I'm like, no, you're gonna be an asshole to me, you're fucking crying to me. No, like I don't mind like vulnerability, and I don't mind like an emotional man, but you gotta be an emotional man for specific things. And I was like, damn, why are you crying to me about how I have other friends? Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. But yeah, not I love, but I've noticed like a lot of people are like really controlling and stuff. And I think that's just like, feels like parasocial behavior. Like, oh, like they think that they're in this like persona, this like relationship with you, but honestly you just think of them as your friend, maybe less than a friend, maybe an acquaintance, maybe less than an acquaintance, just a somebody. So yeah, just like there's like so many things, like I'm just like thinking about it, I'm just like when that happened and stuff, like I just think about how like this is also the person that like put me on my hiatus or whatever. Like I talked about like how I took an 8-month hiatus from like streaming and stuff like that, and it's because of this person, because they told me that like no one would watch me, and I'm wondering if like they just said that because they're being an asshole, or they just didn't want, or actually no, I think they told me that they didn't want me to stream because they didn't want to look embarrassing on my stream. And I was just like, but like, why are you projecting on me? Like, so yeah, I think like parasocial is also like projection as well. Like they're like projecting like, oh yeah, like they can't get like a girlfriend IRL, so then they try to like pursue a relationship with a person that like, I don't know, like they're like, oh yeah, like this person says like, hi, how are you doing? And that is enough for them to be like, oh my god, this girl is in love with me because I've never experienced another woman asking me how I'm doing. When it's literally like in, you know, it's like in our script, like as a streamer, you should just ask like everyone in your stream, how are they doing? And it's kind of how it be. Oh my god. But things like that, like that's what I've noticed. And then like yeah, but there's some things I can't call out on stream, so we're having this conversation here. But I don't know, just like overly complimenting, just like asking for reassurance, but more in the sense of like reassuring in a sense that like kind of like a pick me, like oh people tell me I'm ugly, and then like they expect you to be like, no you're not ugly. Because, you know, you kind of feel bad. It's kind of human nature to, like, you know, to do that. Maybe it's not human nature. I don't know. And for me. So then I kind of stop. Which is, like, kind of similar to, like, when I hear people say, like, oh my gosh, Tiff hates me. Like, oh my god, like, she would never give me the time of day. Blah, blah. Like, I'm like, yeah, I hate you. Because that's what you said. And then you said... I take things so literally because I'm just like, I honestly do not have the time to like kind of like figure out like mannerisms and like sarcasm and stuff in text message. So if you're gonna say that to me, I'm gonna be like, I do. How did you know? Because honestly, I really don't care. And I don't know. I just feel like that's such like an attention-seeking like thing to do. Like being a pick-me is such an attention-seeking thing. So I don't know. I think that's just how I feel about it. Because like, you know, you need to have more self-confidence. And I feel like at this point, you should just find self-confidence in yourself compared to like finding self-confidence in other people. You know, like these people are not gonna live in your life your entire life. You know, like I'm not gonna just like, what if I just drop dead? What if I drop dead tomorrow? Like I can't be like, oh yeah, you're not ugly every day if I'm dead. That sounds pretty crazy, but honestly, like, you kind of get what I'm saying. Because that's how I feel about a lot of people. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I stream on Twitch. I do tarot card readings. Get a tarot card reading that can rest your, I don't know, your love life, your life. But yeah, I don't know. You're kind of bad, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you'll see this whenever I start streaming. Okay. But yeah, I'll be parasocial. Make sure you're aware that, like, you know, the signals when a streamer is uncomfortable. Like silence. Usually silence is like the most like easiest like reaction. Like you can tell. If you're silent, you're just like staring your space, you're probably like, what the fuck did they just say to me? So keep track of that because oh my god, people cannot. But yeah, thanks for watching.